In this tutorial, we will be learning how to use the Buffer, Dissolve, and Difference tools in QGIS. I have two layers in this QGIS project, a layer showing the contiguous US and a layer showing capitals, major cities and towns, and significant smaller towns and sparsely inhabited regions. The goal is to show the areas in the US that are within and those that are outside of a specified range of the populated places. In this tutorial, you will learn how to apply a round buffer to point features, then dissolve and apply a difference to refine the output. To find the buffer tool, go to the Vector tab at the top of the screen, drop down the Geoprocessing tools, and find the buffer tool. When you open the buffer tool, you will be prompted with the screen on the bottom left. In the buffer window, you can choose the input layer, the buffer distance, and the style. In this scenario, I chose the round style, so the distance that I input will act as a measurement for the radius of the buffer area. My distance unit is degrees, but in many projects one may choose to use a consistent unit of measurement such as miles or meters. I chose 2.0 degrees for my distance because it works well with the concept that I am trying to illustrate. When you are applying your buffer, you can experiment with different distances and choose the distance that best suits your goal. For the segment input, a value of 5 should be sufficient for most projects, but you can experiment with higher or lower values. The image on the right is the output of this process. The red circles are showing the radius buffer of 2 degrees from the points. Because our last image looks a bit messy and has some extra lines that we do not need, we can use the Dissolve tool. The Dissolve tool is also found under the Geoprocessing Tools menu. Here, our only input layer is going to be the buffered output. After clicking Run on the Dissolve tool, our output will be the same as the output of the Buffer tool, but all the unnecessary lines will be gone. The final step is to keep the state boundary lines visible and eliminate the areas where the buffer exceeds the boundaries of the US. To do both of these at once, the Difference tool may be used. It is also found under the Geoprocessing Tools menu. The input layer should be your base map layer, and the overlay layer should be your dissolved output. Your difference output should show the lines of your base map and the product from your dissolved layer. Your point feature may be overlaid over the final product of your project. We now have a visual representation of the buffer of these point features. The green areas represent areas that are within 2 degrees of a populated place. The yellow areas represent areas that are outside of 2 degrees of a populated place.